Hello, my baby. Actually, no. Now, what if I just turn around like this? Well, that shows more of my crap. This is just my dust stuff. Eh. Hello, my baby bats, and welcome to another episode of Toxic Tales. Yeah, I'm still doing this. Like, should I have my glasses on? I don't know. I won't be able to see. I can still talk and everything, but you won't have a glare. I think I look weird without my glasses. I don't know. I don't really need to see to talk, but whatever. I got lasagna heating up in the oven, and I figured I could do this. It's my day off, and I already let's see, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I already filmed out a whole bunch of videos. I'd like to binge film video game videos, so I have like a whole bunch to do, so I could do like other little things like this when I got time, so I can still do them and you can still see them. So yeah, I have this, but I want to use that more for when I'm like vlogging with my phone and I'm out and about. It's easier just to use this when I'm filming at home. And I've already had one drink already. Because I just got back from ballet and I had a drink for there. And I really, really wanted to have a margarita for this episode, but I cannot make one at home to save my life. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pretend this is a margarita. This story, it's not like other stories I've told you. It's probably gonna take me a little minute to finish this because every time I tell it, there's always something I forget and I have to interject. So I'll be able to use editing magic if I forget anything. So, years back, when I was still in college, it was like the very end of college, all of my college friends and everything, we were gonna go out to eat and see a movie afterwards. Just kind of like, like last little outing before we all graduated and everything. So that was cool. To a Mexican restaurant, and I had margaritas. So I got a little nice and tipsy afterwards, and we all went to go see Van Helsing. So we go to see Van Helsing. We all get in line, get our tickets, and my tipsy self keeps calling it Cake Beckinsale, Cake Beckinsale. And also during this movie, that's how my friends found out I like girls too. So we watched the movie. Everything's over. We talk in the parking lot for a little while, and the sun is setting at this point. Because we finished talking everything right as like the sun is about to set. Because like like the bright orange sky and everything, and it's really pretty. And that's the only reason why I remember why we left, because I remember seeing how pretty the sunset was. This was back when I lived in North Carolina. And like the place is all built up now. But at the time, it was not. It was just woods, okay? I guess like we had left the Raleigh Grand and we had hit 401, take 401 up to Lewisburg, 'cause that's where he lived. Like if you're in the area, you know what 401 is. But like at the time, it was literally just 2 lanes, one each direction, and just trees on both sides. Now it's like an 8-lane highway, and at this location, this specific location, you'll know where it is because now there's the 540 bypass right there. For where 401 and the 540 bypass, that's where this happened, like over 20 years ago. But this is before all that was built up, or basically nothing but trees on each side. And I think there may have been one gas station that we passed right before that. But basically there was a gas station and it was kind of like pepper trees and like a few houses, and then there was just like the tree line where it was just forest on each side. When we got to that point where it was like just forest on each side, when I asked my friend, he said that there was a girl on the road. I don't remember a girl on the road. I do remember seeing like those big orange barricades, like if there's construction, but it was just like one on each side of the road, but no construction workers. Now there may have been a girl on the other side. I don't know. I wasn't in front. So it's possible there could have been both. But all I could see was the orange construction things. But it was like, I'll pop an image right here. He comes to a stop right there and he immediately starts to turn around and he says, "Fuck this shit. I've seen way too many horror movies." And then my friend Roberto starts laughing. He says, "Ha ha ha, this is just like that movie Jeepers Creepers." And then my friend just looks and says, "Shut the fuck up, Robert." And so he immediately turns the car around. And so, like, as soon as he straightens out the car, headlights right behind us. And I remember thinking, how the fuck are there headlights there? There was a barricade. What the fuck? And then I hear, and then all of a sudden Casey he just yells, I fucking knew it. And then he guns it. And this thing starts chasing us all over the place. And we didn't just go up 401 because he chased us all around, man. We went through like farmlands basically, where there's just like tobacco fields. I don't think it was corn, it was tobacco. Because I do remember it being like huge fields, but the tobacco had already been pulled, so it was basically just like empty stuff. So we were going all through like these miles and miles of forest. I don't know how long we were being chased, but honestly, I was really glad that my friend had a freaking Crown Vic because he was able to outrun this guy with the engine. Like, and of course, Robert was just like, "Man, this is just like that movie Jeepers Creepers." He says, "Shut the fuck up, Robert." It's just like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on? And so we're basically fearing for our lives through this whole thing. We don't know what the fuck's going on. And then we do see come to around like this area with like farmhouse. And then it's like I want to say like farmhouse yard, and then there's like this tractor with like this big pile of like brush and shit right next to this tractor. My friend, he's gunning it, and then all of a sudden he just flips the car around. And because we did like somewhat lose him, but just to make sure, so he just flipped the car to the side and then just like dove our car into like the big pile of brush. It's a miracle that like there wasn't like a tree or something that we didn't like impale ourselves on. But he just kind of like dives the car into the brush, and then we all try to hide. And Roberto says yet again, "This is just like Jeepers Creepers." And he goes to touch the radio, and Casey slaps his hand and says, "Don't you touch that fucking radio. Shut the fuck up, Robert." I asked him when we first got there, I'm like, "Let's go to the farmhouse." He's like, "No, we'll get killed." He's like, "This is the middle of the night. That farmer's going to answer the door with a gun, or before the cops are gonna take like an hour to get here. We're all gonna be dead by then." So he's like, "No, we gotta hide." So that's when we decided to hide. Roberto's a big dude, so there wasn't really a way for him to like lay down flat. So I think he actually just got out of the car and crouched next to the door. My fiance, he laid down in the back floorboard, and my friend Casey, he just leaned his chair back all farthest away, and so they're all laying down. Had before my fiance laid down, I crawled into the trunk. That's where I hid. And it was an older Crown Vic, so there was a big there was a rusted hole in the back of the trunk. And so I took off my glasses because I didn't want a reflection, but I peeked out there just to watch, because they asked me to keep an eye out, see if I could see the son of a bitch. So I'm looking, and then I see like him turn the car, slow down, and then it turned onto like basically the driveway of the farmhouse. Because I watched this, and the thing is, it was like this shitty painted green truck with like this big like frame shit on the back of it, down the driveway and then back and forth. He does this a couple times. He has a spotlight and he's shining looking for us, but our car has been covered in like a bunch of debris and shit next to this tractor, and we're all holding our breath and everything. And I noticed, like, in this big frame in the back of the truck, you see things like machetes, axes, all sorts of fucking. And he's looking for us, and we're just like holding our breath. And he eventually goes away, and I wait. I don't know how long I waited. I waited a little bit before I poked my head back through the seat cushion. And I was like, I think he's gone. He's been gone for like a little while, and I told him what I saw, and then Roberto says, like he's about to say, "It's just like Jeepers Creepers again," and then you see he just sits up, holds his fist back, says, "Robert, what the?" And I'm just like, I want to go home. I just want to go home. Like, I don't need this extra stress. We waited, I don't know how much longer, because we're still paranoid that the son of a bitch was still out there. So we just waited a while before we eventually felt comfortable enough to like pull back out of the brush and go there. And so the thing is, we had to go on 401 to get back to our place. So we went down 401 and we were at the same place, but no barricades, no nothing. We stopped the car, we looked around, and I'm just like, I want to call the police, but... And then Casey he finished the sentence, like, what could we tell him? We wouldn't be believed anyway. And so me and him had a cigarette. I think we all had a cigarette, except for my fiance, because he didn't smoke, but we'll need to die by, and he did one. So we just left and went home, and we did not talk about it again until 20 years later, when I was going to GalaxyCon with his brother, and I told him on the road trip there, I'm like, has he ever told you about this? He's like, fuck no. I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, that's what happened. And I'm not sure if he fully believed me until like the next day we were hanging out, and he's like, hey, she told me that y'all were chased by a serial killer. He's like, oh yeah, that was the time we got chased by the truck and stuff. And he was just like, so yeah, my friends were chased by a serial killer, and that is how we survived. It was the scariest moments of my life. I never breathed a word of it ever to my parents. My parents both went to their graves not knowing what happened. And the thing is, like, people from North Carolina probably know exactly the spot I'm talking about, and they've drove by it many a times. And I'm wondering, like, just how many others has seen this motherfucker? Are there any other people that like had the same experience, or did they not live? And like I said, it was 20 years ago, so I figured, couldn't hurt talk about it now, because I was too scared to talk about it earlier. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening to me ramble. I hope I'll be able to piece together like a somewhat coherent video. Thank you for watching. I love you. My joke off, mother.